the, oh, you know what? Sorry, I have the news on. I apologize. Okay, I'm going to read the statement that we currently have now for our remote meeting announcements. Okay, if everyone can mute their sound, I'd appreciate that. Okay, I'm calling the meeting order right now. The recording may begin. Okay, this meeting of the Economic Development and Employment Committee is called to order. Okay, it's being recorded for public access and archiving in accordance with the New York City Open Meeting Law. It is the practice of CB2 to conduct remote meetings with all committee members' cameras on. Okay, we encourage public attendees to also leave their cameras on, particularly if you're given the floor to speak. All attendees, please keep your microphones muted when you're not speaking. To maintain appropriate discussion and voting process, I'll make it known when and which topics are open for comment by committee members only. Board members at large and general public. Okay, what I'll do basically is I'll first allow committee members to speak, then board members, and then public members. And sometimes I will now allow public members to speak because this may be a situation where we're not looking for public discussion. Okay? If you have a question that falls outside of public comment time, please type your questions in the chat panel and we will address them if relevant to the matter and as time permits. You may also email the district manager at any time or the district office. We are committed to providing access for all of our neighbors, regardless of physical ability or limitations. If you require accommodation or assistance for full participation, please contact the district office 72 hours before public meeting. The committee secretary will now conduct a roll call. Members should speak their name with their camera on. Catherine, if you can do roll call.
No problem. Do you want me to do list of names or just go around the visual video?
Do list of names. Go down the actual committee members.
Okay. We have Chairperson Bill Flanoy, Co-Chair, Vice Chair Denise Peterson.
She may be attending late.
Okay, I'll mark her. Catherine Gelman, Secretary, that's me. Ronald Cohen.
He's here. He's on mute.
Hey.
Yeah.
Mason.
Here. Okay. Board member and committee member.
Maisha Morales.
Here. Board member, committee member.
James Nunez. Curtis Harris. Catherine Yearwood Young. Latrell Masso.
Latrell's here.
Here.
I see Latrell. Lindsay Einhorn. I think Lindsay's coming a little late. Jessica Kredschke.
Present.
Oleg Geiser. Todd Elfman. Melinda Rasco.
Yeah, we're having some problems right now with some people coming in, but that'll be fine. Okay, and our speaker, Maya, you're here also.
Yes, and Speaker Maya Komerov.
Okay. With that, I'd like to get approval of the agenda. May I have a motion to approve? I need someone to raise their hands.
Move to approve.
Okay, that's Ron Cohen.
Yep.
Okay, Jessica, all in favor? Okay, opposed?
Aye.
Objections? Okay. The agenda is approved. Okay, we're going to start off with a presentation of the CinchMarket by Maya Komerov. Is that correct?
Yeah, Maya.
Maya, thank you. And you're the founder and CEO. Okay, floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm a founder and CEO and a neighbor also. So I live in Carroll Gardens. Actually, I'm not sure can I share a presentation here? Because I couldn't find the option to do that.
Hi, Maya, this is Taya. No problem. 1 second.
Okay.
You should be seeing a little blue beach ball heading your way. Then go ahead and click in the upper left-hand corner, select
Yeah,
share.
Yeah, now I see. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can actually see your entire desktop.
Is that,
That's perfect.
you see the Shop Brooklyn movement?
Yes, go ahead.
Cool. So thanks everybody for letting me to present. As I said, I started the Cinch more than 2 years ago with a very clear mission of how can we rebuild the neighborhood to be a great platform for commerce. I think now with the pandemic, we see even more how is that so important topic. My background is technology and operation. And I want to talk about the history of the company and the product that we started with. But what I'm going to talk today is that as really a Brooklyn resident, when the pandemic arrived, I think one of the most interesting thing that I experience, and with my conversation with different businesses, what we understood is that we all go back, to Amazon and all those big guys to shop, especially under the condition of COVID, because we want the experience of one store. Like, we want to go to one place, order whatever we need, and we want to get it to directly to our door. And if you think about, we all see about the challenge of all the businesses around us. In my opinion, they're going to continue to experience that challenge if we're not going to make a change. And the reason is because they will never be able to create the everything store experience like Amazon. Like, a wine store can sell wine, and the pet store can sell pet supply. So what we decided to do is we decided to build a platform to allow them to collaborate and team up together to become the Everything Store Brooklyn. So everything fulfilled by Brooklyn stores. So what we did, we opened an online store, and we invest in a lot of integration to allow every store in Brooklyn, that even if they have e-com, to integrate into one big store, to be able to create the same Amazon experience, but to fulfill it from neighborhood, from Brooklyn stores. And what we do, actually, we take every order that we get on the site. So we get customers now that order from 3 different stores. They can buy wine and toy for the kids and whatever. And when we get the order, we have a fulfillment technology that we build to allow us to send that order to 3 different stores. They prepare the orders, and they we pick it up to centralize the location, and we deliver that from there. So this is what we that's the platform that we build. And we all understand that probably nobody can build the next Amazon, but I think if we allow everybody to team up together, what I learned, and that's very interesting, is that we have everything in Brooklyn. The problem of what we have is that the inventory is not available, and there is no access for people to get a good, experience of searching and buying from that. So that's exactly what we build with this Everything Store Brooklyn. So one of the most important thing when we started that, so we built a platform, and we launch a campaign under the slogan, as you can see here, Shop Brooklyn, not Bezos. And what we saw is that people really like it. So a lot of people start to share, but they told us, guys, we want to know 2 important things. And sorry for my language, but they told us, guys, we want to know that you're not going to fuck the businesses and not the delivery people. Okay.
Okay. We're being recorded, so watch your language, please.
So sorry. So they want to make sure that we really care about what's going on. And what we decided is to put the whole values and the way that we build that platform up front and put it visible for the community. And you can see the values that we lead the platform based on that. So I'm happy to share that the Brooklyn movement is really growing, and we see that the sales of the platform is growing more than 50% month over month. For sure, all that money goes to Brooklyn stores. The community is really involved and proud to take action, even if to put signs or go with T-shirts. Or we also manage a Slack channel with the community that we get their ideas and we get the products that they want us to add and what stores they are missing, because they want to continue to shop in our store. I also want to show you how great impact it does for the businesses, because I think what you can see that the businesses increasing month over month the sales. And if you can see in that image, like the green spot is a store on Court Street, and you can see how those guys increase the catchment area that they get with that platform. So the big learning for me and the big insight, like when we think about our assets and the real estate in the community, we cannot think about it anymore like the place for people to come in and have it as a showroom. We need to think like Amazon. Amazon take warehouses in the center of cities in order to be very close to the customers and fulfill their orders fast. Guys, all those stores are already there. They close to the customers. They just don't have the access. And with the platform that we provide them, they have now the access and they can leverage the asset that they rent. And now we need to think about that asset as a fulfillment center and as a store. So that's a big shift that I'm working also with some real estate partners that to help to think with them how we can build new models that can help all those retail assets. But if you think about, so we are close to the customer compared to Amazon. Those people that own those retailers know the community better than Amazon. We just need to create much more channels and opportunities, and you can see how we think, how together we are going to eat this one company, and we are not. That's how we believe that we can bring back that power. So this project got a lot of exposure. You can see, I can share with you also that presentation. By the way, all of that by Brooklyn reporters that saw our activities and decided to write about that. It's not like any PR proactively that we did. It show how the community really wanted and how they are supporting. So we actually build a marketing kit for the movement, and we let every partner, we work with real estate partners, they promote it to their tenants. So everybody, we work with business improvement district that can help us to bring businesses to the site. We work with Rebni to bring more real estate people into that game. And what everybody can choose how they want to support that movement. And it could be by presenting poster and stuff like that. It could be by sending like invitation to different to residents, letter to retailers that we provide here, And every organization that care about the community is invited to join that movement. The last thing that we want to drive, and I will be happy to get your support, guys, is that we build a Brooklyn gift card. So we know that the holidays is going to be a big thing for our retailers. We know that 50% of what people buy is Amazon gift card. So we have a Brooklyn gift card, and we want more and more people to buy that instead of Amazon gift card around Brooklyn. So whatever support we can get, we are happy to discuss and see what we can do together to help our city. Questions?
Yeah, thank you very much. That is awesome. I really, really enjoy this. Two questions. One, if I am a consumer and I want to get involved in this, how do I do it?
Sorry, you're a consumer and?
Yes, I'm a consumer and I want to basically get involved with you and start using your actual platform, your products. How do I do it?
To buy? Like
Yes.
just shop?
Yes.
You go to CinchMarket. I will leave the link on the here.
Okay.
So you
How
can
does it
go.
work? And how does it work? So I go to that site and what do I do?
Can I get again the ability to share my screen? Oh, perfect. Let me just a second. So this is the site. So so you go and you can shop whatever you want. You can shop by category. Okay, those are the different categories that you can get and shop with. You can go and shop by stores. Like you can see all the different stores. Like if we go, for example, to Sahadi, I'm sure that most of you know who is Sahadi. So you can go and just add to your cart whatever you want from Sahadi, and then you can go and let's say we will go to the bookstore, and you can go and add whatever you want here. Okay, like you can add this to the cart and whatever, and I can go now and go to the hardware store, and let's say this is what I need. And when I finish, I go to checkout exactly like Amazon and I buy. That's all. And it's going to come from 3 different stores. You're going to get one box with everything inside.
Okay, so you actually mail it or do you actually have delivery?
We deliver that. So if you order until 10 a.m., you are going to get it same day until 8 p.m. If you order after 10 a.m., you will get it next day.
Beautiful. Next question. If I am a store owner, or
Yeah.
how do I get involved on your platform so I can also participate?
So we have here a page that every business can sign up, get involved, okay? How people can get involved. So at your business, just send us here a form, okay? In the get involved, people can add businesses. People can recommend us product or businesses that they want us to add. So we approach them. But if someone add the business, we have someone in our team that will approach them, and we do at least once a week or twice a week a webinar. People come on. Some businesses we talk, the bigger businesses we talk directly, and some of them we just bring them into a webinar. They come, they listen, they ask questions, and if they want, they sign papers. And based on their platform, we add them to a queue. We have a queue of more than 40 businesses now that are waiting to join the market. Just to let you know, we have more than 30,000 products around Brooklyn. 30,000. Yeah, and it's growing. I think in few weeks we will double it.
Okay. Now, this wonderful because I've been shopping at a local grocery store and basically ordering my items and going to pick it up, and I am hooked. I am hooked. So this is even more tempting. so, so thank you. Okay, questions from other committee members?
I s- questions. Okay. Yeah.
Manisha?
Yeah. Hi. So great presentation. Thank you. When I was looking at your website earlier, and I saw that it said something. So I noticed there's something under the category Cinch Essentials. Are those products? So I have two questions. Are those products not from local small businesses? Is that your own web store or?
No, it's also from local businesses. The point with the essential that sometimes it's not specific location, like we take from few different stores.
Got
So
it.
we put it on. We don't have anywhere. We have just a sorting spot. We
Got it.
don't have any inventory.
And then the next question is, so you have, let's say, 3 businesses that sell. Are businesses allowed to sell the same products on your site? So, which gives the shopper an opportunity to see like who's selling it cheaper, to save a buck. Because
Yeah.
we still do that in our local community, right? Look for the
Yes.
store that's having a sale or sells it at a cheaper price point. So, that's the question. Were they allowed to sell the same product?
Yeah, so definitely. So, it's a market. You should think about it like how we put Brooklyn or the neighborhoods online. Okay, the same as you can go from one store to another. You
Got
can
it.
search and you get, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, any other questions from committee members?
Hi, this is Latrell. I have a question.
Sure.
My question is the website accessible for people with disability, for like screen readers and for large print? People who have visual impairments and are blind.
That's a good point, but actually not for now. I think we will need to consider that definitely moving forward, and I will edit this something to our tech team to check. It's a very good point, but we didn't have a chance to handle that until now. We are live since we started the project in April when when COVID arrived. We launched it in June, and we kind of trying to put to make sure that everything is working. And then we will definitely add more and more layers to make sure that we support different audiences in the community.
Thank you.
Okay, any other committee members? Okay, Catherine? Catherine Gilman.
Just one question. Sorry, Kate. I feel like we're in the forever Catherine bucket. Just one question with materials and sustainability. What's your approach to your packaging? I know you said you try to condense it to one box, and that's probably an alternative to the Amazon model. Can you just speak to that part of the business?
Sure. So what we do is that when we attend, when we kind of close the all orders, we have people from the community. We make sure that the people that serve that Brooklyn store are from Brooklyn. Like this is our, if you just to give you an idea, like if Walmart open an everything store and they have the whole team, our team is, because we don't have a physical, it's more like operational store team. So we make sure that all this team is from the city that we operate in, means like Brooklyn. And what we do, we have a team that go to pick up all the bags. Like the businesses do the fulfillment, they prepare bags with the orders, and our team. Sorry.
Got it. I was just saying, I was mistaking your order fulfillment center for a place that you also do some assembly. So that's helpful to know.
No, so, yeah. So just to, so we collect all those bags into one centralized location, and there we do sorting. Like we take 3 bags from 3 different stores, put it in one box that is the order for the customer, and we deliver that from there. So after the sorting, that we aggregate them together, because customer can order from 3 different stores, we send it in one box to the customer. We deliver, we don't do shipping and stuff like that.
Right. I think just to follow up on the question, just in terms of aggregating supplies from multiple stores, that there would be an emphasis on not collecting more material in the process. But I think that's on your sorting side, that you'd probably just reuse the materials that you receive from you to the store internally.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Okay, before I let you go, I'm going to, we have a request from the chat whether or not the cards, your gift cards are available yet.
Sorry, I cannot hear.
Are your gift cards available yet?
Yes, yes, sure. I will send you a link to the gift cards. It's now in a digital, it's digitally now, but we are working also to get it physically. So we want our store to start to sell them. We can give them also to other organizations to sell them if you have ideas. One of the most important thing for us, and maybe it's a place you can help, we want to approach corporates and companies that also buying gift cards for the holidays and ask them to give this year those gift cards.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, if any
yeah, I will put the gift card.
Thank you. If any community members want to ask questions, please put it in the chat. Kate? Can't hear you, Kate.
Hello?
Kate Yearwood, we can't hear you. Still can't hear you.
You cannot hear me?
No, not you.
Hey, Yearwood, could you speak, please? Okay, you're unmuted, but we can't hear you. So it's probably a connection issue. Feel free to type in the chat. We can't hear you, I'm sorry.
Okay, I have a question from the chat. Person is saying basically, this is terrific. Thank you for your presentation. We have a very vibrant movement of organizations here addressing Amazon-related working issues. Are you engaging with them at all? Have you reviewed your model? Have they reviewed your model? Sorry.
No, I don't know them, but I'm happy to learn more if someone want to connect us.
Okay. Also have a question. Are all your stores only brick and mortar stores, or do you also work with stores that are online?
So we work with everybody that has inventory in Brooklyn. Okay, so
Online
if you have, if you have, you sell online and you have the inventory in your house or in a warehouse, because that's also fine, because we need to pick the items. So as long as we can pick the items around Brooklyn, it works.
Okay. From Miss Yearwood. Okay. She says this is great. How are you doing outreach to the consumers in the community to raise awareness, and how can we help?
That's a great question. What we do today, we do a lot of social activities. People sharing that with their friends and stuff like that. And the businesses that we work with are sharing that. The way that you can help, so every help is amazing, and whatever you can use from the kit, and I'm happy to do a separate conversation with whoever wants. Like whatever you can promote, share it on social, help us to sell, like happy to know what channels you have to the community. I'm sure that you have great channels. We can put a plan together how you can help us to do that. The same as we work with the Business Improvement District. As long as all of us will push it out, I'm sure that we will make a much better impact faster.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, and we accept all the credit cards. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, now being that this is an employment committee, okay, let's look at the employment aspect of it. Okay, are you going to be looking to hire locally? And I understand you have a very good wage if that's the case. Is that true?
Yeah, so we have actually the company has, I will say, like headquarter people that they are more like building the whole platform. And then we have the Brooklyn store team that operate whatever is going on in Brooklyn. Okay, you need to understand that we as a company see Brooklyn as the first city that we operate this model. We're going to launch in Manhattan, and we got a lot of cities that are interested in that model. So we as Brooklyn can be really proud of the innovation that we can bring to the country. And what I'm explaining that because I have developers and product people. Some of them are from Brooklyn, some of them are not. But everybody that is working for the store, for the fulfillment, for the orders, for the delivery, working with the businesses in Brooklyn, everybody is from Brooklyn. So we take people from the community to work to operate the store, okay? That's related to that. Related to the delivery people, we really care to pay them fairly, and we promote also what we do. We want to be very transparent. It's a decision that we have decided. It's not usual, but we've decided to be very open and honest, and we pay delivery people $25 an hour. And by the way, I want to explain why we can do that, okay? When you build a company, you need to make some decision. As long I have decided that we will let the community to work together, as long as you guys are promoting the real estate players, like I'm talking with developers like Two-Tree that want to promote it now to their tenants. In Manhattan, we have the Rudin family and Silverstein, the big developers that working behind that and want to promote it. So as long as the community working together, two great things are happening. One, we don't need to pay tons of marketing and take crazy fees from the businesses because everybody, you know, we have much lower costs. And also, by the way, the building, as long as the building promoting that and we get more density of packages, that's reduce our cost of delivery and allow us to pay more to the delivery people. Okay, so there are a lot of thoughts about how we build, and that's also the opportunity that we see, like bring everybody together to push that, to drive the commerce in New York through that platform will allow us to create a really great platform for commerce. So those are the reason why, and we make money on every transaction. We make sure we are backed by investors to help us to build that platform at the beginning, but we make sure that we try to be profitable on every transaction. And the decision to go through those channels and to harness the community to work together allow us to really create that model and be fair and open and transparent.
That's exactly what I like to hear. That's exactly what I like to hear. Okay, any other questions for committee members? Everyone has their camera on, so. Okay, one more time. I'm taking my time. Any more questions from committee members or board members?
Mr. Flournoy, there is a, Meisha submitted a question in chat. The question is, do you or will you eventually have an app?
Thank you.
No, not yet. We don't have an app, but people can shop. Our store is responsive on mobile. It means like you can shop on mobile web.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, this has been very exciting, and I like to see this expand beyond Brooklyn. But for right now, Brooklyn's very happy.
Yeah, let's stay in Brooklyn. Let's do together Brooklyn as an excellent model for cities around the country and beyond. I think every city needs something like that. I'm happy to know who is the person that I can continue the conversation with. I'm happy that you gave me the opportunity to share it with you. I'm happy to continue to work with whoever and which is part of the community board to allow us to scale and have a great holiday for our businesses.
Yes, what I would suggest you do is this: continue sending in information to the board office. I'm going to invite you back again in a couple months to see where you are as far as your progress as far as the business is concerned. And I noticed you put a link in the chat in regards to, is that about how to be hired? Or is that a story about your pay scale?
Sorry?
There's a link in chat.
Yeah, that's linked to our story, but I put the link in the chat to the store. I put the link in chat to the gift card.
If I want to work for you, how do I go about doing that?
If you want to work for us, you need to write us to support to the email on the website.
Okay, fair enough. Just want to let people know that because that's a decent living wage.
Yeah.
Okay. And one last question, and I'll let you go because we have other things on the agenda. What's your catchment, okay, as far as deliveries?
So we open it to all Brooklyn.
All of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
We started and actually again, I'm not sure this is the time, but I'm happy to schedule time with the board office because I think we can talk more about how we can help some neighborhoods that we have less access. Maybe you have access. I know that I'm happy to understand more about your activities and we can see what specifically we can do together to really help the community to know about exactly the area that you cover. So we can share with you about our work with the Business Improvement District in that area. So maybe there's a great things that we can do together.
We can definitely do that offline. Okay.
Perfect.
I'm looking forward to having that conversation with you.
Perfect. And guys, if you decide, Taya, you can share my email with everybody. So if you decide to try the platform, you are welcome to give me feedback. We are really want to hear more and more because that's how we make it better.
Okay. Thank you, Mia. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
You're free to stay for the rest of the meeting if you wish.
I'm actually need to go to take care of my kids now. That's
Yes,
my second job.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, guys.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. This now leads us into the chairperson's report. Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. Flournoy.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. I text you this.
You're breaking up.
Sir.
Ms. Peterson, you're breaking up.
Yeah, so you.
Peterson, you're
I
breaking
said
up.
I don't know why. Am I clear?
You're clear now, yes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Pardon my tardiness. It's nice to see all of you. And I'm just letting you know that I'm in the meeting.
Okay, welcome, Ms. Peterson. You did mention you were running a little late, and I'm glad you managed to attend.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, for the chairperson's report. Okay, what we're looking at right now is, I'm going to first take a look at taking care of the one piece of business that we need to take care of, and that's basically the district needs. Okay, so we need to review the district needs that we have that our work group has put together, and we have to itemize them as far as priority. Okay, we have 19 items on the agenda. I doubt very much we're going to get all 19 items, okay, approved for the district as a whole. So what we need to do is prioritize them, okay, as far as which ones we want to have as far as the top 6 and then the bottom 6. Okay, so we can do that 6, 6, 7. Okay, so Taya, if you can put on the list itself so we can take a look at it. Okay, here are the items that we're currently reviewing, okay, for the agenda. We sent this out to you. Hopefully you'll have a chance to take a look at it. Now, each one of the items on here, okay, we have, this is from previously, okay, and this is where they are. Are there any items on here that people may feel need to be removed from the current sheet?
Bill, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
All right, great. Headphone issue, sorry. So the ones in column H, if these are prior priorities that could either be rolled forward or removed or adjusted, I've noted, what I think we were thinking and reflecting the feedback that we've gotten from the agencies in the past. So any of the ones that have removed in this column should definitely be taken off. I don't know if your 19 counted those.
No, 19 did not count those. This is what was already been from the previous year.
Yeah, so the removes should be taken off, and then the other ones, we should decide whether we want those to continue as priorities and where they should be ranked.
Exactly. Okay, so we're looking at right now is we're looking to remove, provide and expand business education and business entrepreneurs. Why do you wish to have that removed? Okay.
So the agency response is in column G. So either the ones that are removed, either they've said, it's been completed, like the provider expand business education, that's been completed, or, OMB already has, supported the agency. Oh, the agency has already tried to accommodate it. OMB supports it. So again, it's already been addressed. Others, that we should remove, it's sometimes the agency says like this isn't actually a budget request. So, it's not in line.
So the working group has basically decided because they've been already funded, completed, or they're not actually items that are appropriate for this particular request, okay, have been removed. Okay.
Everything
So we
else.
still have on here 2 items from previously. Expand tax incentive and provide expand assistance to obtain licenses, permits, and registers for MWBEs. Okay. Those are still on the list, correct?
Yeah, or they can be. Yeah, we can either just decide to roll them forward or decide they're not priorities.
I believe you also added one too.
Yeah, everything below. So if you scroll down, Taya, everything starting at, I guess it's line maybe back up at line 7, wherever in column H it says discuss adding to budget priorities. These are, so many of these items we did discuss last year when we went through this process, but they just, for whatever reason, didn't make it into the actual budget priority spreadsheet from the for the ranking at the community board level. So we've some of them we've adjusted, but they're mostly just things that we discussed as a committee last year for those of us who were involved. And then there are several that we added through our discussions in the working group this year.
Okay, excellent. Okay, I also noticed
discuss adding is up for debate and discussion.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so we can do this 2 ways. Okay, one way we can actually discuss this now, okay, as a committee and go through each item, okay? Or what we can do is we can actually do this separately, where each person can rank, okay, each one of the different requests themselves as far as priority, 1 through 19, okay, and basically decide from that, and then you can send that in to both myself and the secretary and our co-chair and the board office, and we can then basically sort them out and basically tabulate which ones have become priorities based on your actual indications. So first, let's go over the actual requests, okay, so that everyone understands what they're about. Okay.
Hey, Bill, I don't think we've added anything since we reviewed them at the last meeting. There was only one that's been added since the last meeting. Do we maybe just for expediency, do we want to just review that one item?
Yes, you know what, let's review that one item, and if in fact there's anything else as far as questions about the items that have been listed, we'll go over it that.
Sure.
That,
I mean, so I also did actually, now that I think, so I added the 2 items. If we go to the bottom, Taya, I'm sorry. Taya, did I just say your name right?
You did. I was with Hey,
Okay.
yeah.
Just making sure. I haven't talked to you in a month, so the second meeting, just making sure before it gets too rude, to ask. So Denise, the item that we had discussed about training, I made sure to add that. So that's line 23. So fund a grant program for nonprofits providing career transition service, retaining or reskilling programs, and or internship and apprentice programs for low-income residents and residents laid off or furloughed due to COVID-19. And so I think we all liked this one because it feels like a really well-rounded ask, that it's not just supporting the individuals who have been affected by COVID-19, but also our local nonprofit community who's having issues gaining funding and grant programs due to the economic restrictions that are facing a lot of nonprofits right now. And then line 24, I recently just read an article or a study that basically said that by 2020, 80% of Black and Brown individuals won't be eligible for most white collar jobs due to lack of technology training. I found the study really compelling, and I thought that this was something that we might consider adding. And again, I liked the idea of funding it through nonprofits who are already doing this type of training, but also can probably use the additional funding to support that work. And I think those were the only 2 that have been added since we last spoke.
okay, thank you, Lizzie.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so committee members, are there any questions about what's currently on the sheet as far as the reasons these expense requests are currently listed?
Can't hear you, Bill.
You can't hear me? Okay. Okay, currently committee members, are there any items that are currently expense requests that are currently on the sheet, okay, that you have any questions about? Yes, Jessica.
I just have a question about the potential items that were added. I think this might have been even last year, but the 360, the Neighborhood 360 program. I guess maybe someone that's more familiar with that through the New York City Small Business Services can provide a little more context to what exactly we're asking for as part of these.
Lindsay, you want to check that?
Sure, Jessica. So SBS came and gave us a presentation last year on this program, and it wasn't a program that was fully funded. They piloted it in 3 neighborhoods, and they found that it was immensely successful. Based on the feedback that we got on items that were like not single line budget items, I broke it up into the different pieces. But basically, the program does a commercial district needs assessment. Identifies ways to fund improvements within the neighborhoods through merchant organizing, through local development, and also through the funding of nonprofits, and then funded fellows to support different programs within the neighborhood to enact the changes that they find within the needs assessment. And so I thought it was a really well-rounded program. Due to the budget cuts this year, I didn't see that it was funded this year. And I thought it was a really good, well-rounded program. It is something that we voted to include last year. And I wanted to make sure that it was provided as an opportunity this year. I know that assessments don't really seem like as important as some of the other more immediate needs that we're seeing due to the hardship that our community is facing from COVID-19. But I would argue that every assessment that we've done in the last 5 years is no longer helpful. And so I think it's time to take a look at what our community is experiencing due to COVID-19 to really understand the impact that it's having on businesses so that we can address them. I think that generally we know, but at the same time, what type of businesses have moved here from Manhattan? Like I'd like to get a better sense of that. I'd like to get a better sense of what sectors have suffered the most, because I think what we find is that like we know the larger trends across the 5 boroughs, but we also know that certain boroughs can skew those results in terms of like some neighborhoods are going to be affected differently than others, and I think it could be helpful just to at least discuss if this is one of our top priorities, or maybe it's somewhere in the middle or the bottom, but it might be worth that discussion.
Okay, thank you, Lindsay.
No, I definitely think the programs that the Small Business Services branch of government offers through this, it makes sense to me. I just I didn't realize, I guess, that they were underfunded and that this was going to be to get full funding such that it could be implemented in the neighborhood. So thank you, that helps.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, just so everyone's aware, so the New York City is cutting $9 billion from the budget this year. They've already cut $7 billion. $1 billion was from police funding, and the remainder has been from social services and programs. There's a $2 billion gap right now that they're still trying to fill, and they say that $1 billion of that is going to come from labor, and the other $1 billion is going to come from resources and other programs. So we know that there are more cuts coming, and we know that there are going to be layoffs in the city. We just don't know the full economic impact of that yet.
Thank you, Lindsay. Any other questions currently?
I just have a comment, Mr. Flournoy. That is, when we talk about priorities, there are a number of, we have the small businesses out there that need help. We have people who need help in terms of, employment and or reemployment and or future employment in whatever sector open or available. And then you have the training component. So I think I was just sitting here thinking that whatever the priorities are for me, there has to be a direct link, and I think I may have the last meeting has to be a direct link um to the people that are impacted and have been, not just because COVID, they've been impacted for a long time, for many years, in terms of various opportunities, um, in whatever areas that they may be. And I keep bringing back the training and apprenticeship, and we are the Economic Development and Employment Committee. And if we really define what that means for us, that can always help in a direction, trying to establish some priority as to, what we think the needs are. There are clearly parts of the community that are have different issues, from public housing to other areas of community board too. So we try to balance it, and we also want to try to make sure other people too have the opportunity. But the great me is immediate impact, whatever that means in this place where we are right now, or that whatever it is that they can get to attach to, that is something that's useful, that'll be tangible, that'll put them in a position to benefit in terms of whatever opportunities, that there will be, this, and I, when I'm moving around the community, I see construction is still going on, and they're building and doing more buildings, and that sort of has opened up. Certainly, I'm not aware of, who is advocating for people to be able to know what those opportunities are so that they can go wherever they need to go to try to benefit from what's happening over there by Barclays Center, what's happening over there on Atlantic and Vanderbilt and Clinton, what's happening in other locations throughout CB2. So I just want to, make sure and hope that we are connecting the dots in a way that's meaningful and impactful to people who have for so long too been on the side of not being extended or not being able to attach on to, some of the things that's out there or that have resumed. So that's, I may have, kind of been redundant, but I think I've made the point.
Hey, Denise, I think that's a really good point. And I actually was wondering, did anyone on the call get a chance to participate in the public hearing? I unfortunately missed it. And I was wondering if there were any items that came up there that we are missing or that should be adding that came directly from the community. Because I think as a working group, we really did our best to research these items and come up with things that were thoughtful and supportive of all the different groups that this committee represents. But it's not the same as hearing directly from the community, things that are going to help them directly.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Hi,
Okay,
Lindsay. This is Taya from the office. There were no items elevated by the public at the public hearing. You are welcome to review the YouTube video of that very brief experience. I have a suggestion and an offer, Mr. Flournoy, if you'd like. Probably end of day tomorrow, if you'd like. We could send these out as a ranked choice Google poll, so folks could just click and drag and put them in the order that they like, and then we can compile that data. That might make voting a bit easier.
Yes, I was going to suggest that, but I didn't want to give you too much work to do.
That's the offer.
That you offered it, I will accept. There are, however, individuals who do not have access to computers to do that.
I think we'll be able to make a Google form that's accessible on cell phone.
Okay, if you can do that, how does the committee feel about that?
I think that's a great idea.
Is there anyone opposed to it?
Hey Taya, while you're going through,
Wait a second, Lizzie. Let's finish this
yeah.
motion. Okay. Is there anyone opposed to it? Okay. There's no one that's opposed to it. Taya, can you give us a deadline on when this has to be completed by?
Well, that would be a question for District Manager Paris. So I think if we got it done by the end of the week, I'm sure it would be fine.
How about we get it in by 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 Thursday, the latest?
Yeah, I'll send you guys a test tomorrow.
Okay, excellent. Okay. And just CC me so I can look at the results also, okay?
Of course.
So that's what we're going to be doing, people. We're going to do a Google, what's the exact word to use, Taya?
It'll just be a really slick little form where you can review each of the requests and explanations, and then you'll be able to click and drag and put them in your ranked order.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Taya. Appreciate that.
No
Lizzie, you had a,
So I think that the ones that we're discussing, whether to add or remove, would almost be like a different category where the voting option should just be retain or remove the item, if that works. And then I had some concerns that we're missing agencies. So basically, we're allowed to direct these priorities to multiple agencies. And if you see glaringly that we could add another agency, because they don't send it to those agencies unless we specifically cite them. And I kind of felt like we should cast a wider net with some of them and see like maybe different agencies have different budgets that they can find a way to support them.
okay, well, Lizzie, what'll happen basically is this. At the exec committee meeting, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through every committee's ask. And not all of our asks will be listed. So after they're all listed, I think at that point we can then do the work. Okay. And as far as the items that we are saying to remove will be removed because of various reasons. Everything else needs to be ranked.
Hey, Bill, I think that once it goes to executive and they vote on it, I don't think we're allowed to edit it after that. That was my
No,
concern.
as far as agencies, we can actually add agencies. That shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, as long as you're sure.
Mr. Flonai, this is Taya again. I wonder if maybe one of the layers of transparency that's missing from this conversation is that the other committees have also gone through a similar deliberation process. So for example, for some reason, ED&E and YECA are the only two committees that have added to this folder. But for example, these are the priorities reviewed by the YECA committee. So I wonder if it would be helpful at some point in this process, and forgive me, because this is my first year doing this with you all. I wonder if it would be helpful at some point for there to be sort of a master spreadsheet where all of the committee's priorities are collected for review.
I think that will be done just before the exec committee.
Okay.
Okay, because we'll be going the chairs and co-chairs. Well, the chairs will be actually sitting down at the exec committee and making the final decision. Okay, for the full board, because as we're not having board meetings as of yet, I believe. Okay, with that, okay, I will end the discussion unless anyone else has any questions. Okay. I'll now continue, okay, with my chairperson's report. Okay, two items, okay. I've been asked by the board chair that any request to the board office only goes through myself or the co-chair. Okay, nothing is to be made directly to the board office. It has to go through myself and the co-chair. Okay. Second, okay, I've been asked by the chairperson, okay, the board chair, to basically anyone who's doing any type of outreach, such as myself. I'm a representative on the board of the CLS bid. Okay, whenever the CLS bid meets, I'm now asked to give a report to the borough office so it can now become a part of the district manager's report. So if anyone is participating in any organizations, okay, that's in our district, okay, and representing the board, okay, I would ask you to please submit, okay, a report to the board office so that the entire board can be made aware of it. Okay? Any questions? Okay, Ron, this is directed towards you also because you're also on one of the bids, business improvement districts. Okay. I also have met with some of the bids in the area, talked to them, and what we're looking at right now across the board is a number of individuals and stores are closing and they will probably not reopen. Okay, there's quite a few vacancies currently right now that's occurring throughout all the business improvement districts. And some stores are actually attempting to maintain, stay viable, but this is becoming very difficult, which is why I feel that our ask for requests for the budget is something that I'm going to push very strongly for because these small businesses need to be made continue to be viable. As you all know, Century 21 just is in the process of closing. Okay, and that's a substantial. Um, it's a company that is representative of quite a few employees in the area that now are going to be unemployed, and a lot of the smaller companies smaller businesses are also struggling. So I think this is something that's important that we actually focus on that. In regards to that, I actually attended the Downtown Brooklyn Partnership that had a resilience webinar. And basically, we had several companies basically discuss the reasons why what they're trying to do to maintain their business and grow, and also what asks they are having for the district to help them actually continue to stay viable. Believe it or not, what they were asking for was more bike lanes, because a lot of people are no longer using the subway to get around because of COVID. So they're asking for more bike lanes and also for more parking for bicycles and also parking for cars. In addition, they're asking for some additional information as far as helping people with the actual viability as far as doing telecommuting. Okay, that's something that a lot of people are doing right now, and they're asking for that. We actually have companies moving into the area. One of the companies that are moving into the area is Curve UK. Curve UK is a fintech company, and they're currently moving into downtown Brooklyn and not Manhattan. And the reason they're moving into downtown Brooklyn is because we're cost effective, okay? And also they still have access to all the talent that they would need. Currently right now they're looking to hire 185 people, okay? So that gives you an idea that people still find New York City a place of commerce to come to actually establish themselves. So we still see Brooklyn as a major hub for individuals coming to do business. And if that's something that's substantial, and I think everyone should be made aware of that, because as was just presented at the meeting, there are companies that are actually thriving in this environment if you know how to do it. Okay. And that is my chairperson's report. Ms. Peterson, do you have any updates as far as the resource fair? Ms. Peterson, are you still there? Ms. Peterson, we can't hear you. We still can't hear you.
Ms. Peterson, go ahead and speak. You are unmuted.
Okay, we can't hear her right now. Okay, Ms. Peterson, if you can join us later on, that'll be fine. Okay, for right now, we can't hear you. Okay, that brings us to other business. Is there any other business from the committee members that they'd like to bring up right now? Okay, Maisha, that's a yes or no?
I have a question for you. If I don't know if this so I know you mentioned the Downtown Brooklyn Partnership. And again, I don't know what's the latest with them. I haven't really been, I had more of a relationship with Tuck and Reed. But once upon a time, some of downtown Brooklyn's biggest landlords sat on the board of the Downtown Brooklyn Partnership. Not sure if that's still the same. But I was wondering as I've seen stores shutting down, and thinking about small businesses, has the Downtown Brooklyn Partnership, can they, if they haven't, spoken with these landlords, some of them being their own board members, about working with tenants right now to keep them in Brooklyn, in downtown Brooklyn? Can you talk on that? Do you know anything about it? Can we find out if you don't?
Sure. Maisha, basically all of the bids are currently in conversations with the tenants and also the actual um, owners of the actual buildings themselves. So that's an ongoing process. Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that they were working on that because, that's another way we can help the community, help the small businesses, and not have downtown Brooklyn turn into a ghost town again.
Yes, that's an ongoing process.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Ms. Gilman.
I think this is maybe the right time to share this, but just wanted to shout out that there's going to be a Brooklyn Art Walk starting October 17th and 18th along Atlantic Ave. And it's going to be basically a replacement of what was the Atlantic Antic for the year in a COVID safe way. So it's going to go from basically 4th Ave all the way to the water. And it's going to feature local artists and makers in the windows of vacant storefronts. I've been working just on the side with Arts Gowanus and some groups of local artist collectives, and we're putting muralists to work on some roll gates and some really interesting stuff. So hopefully it really comes through, but it'll basically be October 17th to November 2nd. And 3 of the big real estate developers who've been sitting vacant for the last 3 to 5 years on Atlantic have committed to putting community artists in the window, and we hope it's the start of a longer term effort to do that. And all these artists are going to be able to sell their work directly through a website. So if people are walking down the street and they see the work, they can kind of follow a link to it. As well as there's been community design flyers going around to collect community artwork that's going to go on things like the tree pits and on poster campaigns. So we'll see how it goes, but keep your eyes peeled for Atlantic Avenue between the 17th of October and November 2nd. And it's coordinated by Arts Gowanus, by the Atlantic Bid, by the LDC, and by some kind of residents in the area trying to put stuff together to add vibrancy to the street. So it could be a good example of speaking to vacancy with local talent and local voice, and trying to get some money for local makers to sell their stuff in a pandemic safe way.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I see that is now currently in the chat, as well as the Myrtle Avenue bid annual reports also in the chat. Okay, thank you, Taya. Okay, any other business?
Hey, Bill, it's Lindsay. I just wanted to remind everyone that the census deadline got pushed. So if you haven't filled out your census, you have till October 31st. Also, the city and both political parties are still looking for poll workers. As you can imagine, it's hard to get people who are young and healthy and able to meet this really important need to keep our polls open on election day. So if anyone's interested, you can take a look at the Board of Election site. It is a paid position. If you take the 4-hour training and work one day, you're paid for the training as well as for the day. And so that's a really great opportunity for anyone who's in between jobs right now. Also, there's still jobs as contact tracers for the city. It does require a bachelor degree at the moment, but they're still hiring aggressively, and they're really good paying jobs. So for anyone who's looking for that, yeah, you should look into it.
Okay, thank you, Lindsay. You're always a wealth of information. I appreciate that. Okay, community forum. Okay, this is where the community has an opportunity to speak for 2 minutes. Is there anyone interested in speaking?
Mr. Flynn, Ron Cohen has his hand raised.
Oh, Ron?
Well,
mute.
you can hear me.
Yes.
I do not have my hand raised. I did not raise it. Maybe somebody raised it for me.
Okay, well, Ron, good to hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And Ron, you heard me talk about that we're going to be needing reports from you as far as the Downtown Brooklyn Partnership when they meet.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Ron. Okay. Let's see now. If there's no one for the community forum, that now brings us to approval of the minutes. Okay, the minutes were distributed to us all. Thank you very much, Catherine. I appreciate the work that you've done. Okay. Is there any corrections to the minutes that need to be done? Okay. Is anyone who has any disapproves of the minute? Okay, hearing none. Okay, the minutes have been approved. Okay, that we have to vote on it, but just basically make sure there's no mistakes. Okay, with that, if there's no more business and no more discussion, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Ron. Second is Ms. Yearwood. Actually, we'll give it to Jessica. Okay, all in favor? All right, thank you very much. I truly enjoy seeing you all. Okay, be safe and please make sure you get the reports in by Thursday so we can actually have this itemized and actually ranked so that we have, I can actually sit down with the executive committee and actually fight for the ones that we definitely want to have. I need to know this. Okay? Okay, thank you. Okay, with that, meeting's adjourned at 7:25. If anyone wants to have a conversation or discuss anything with me, you know where to reach me. Thank you.
Bye, guys.